Mira was alone in her small apartment when the phone rang. The clock showed 12:03 a.m. An unknown number. She hesitated, Tenon Swed pressing the cold screen to her ear. Silence at first, then a shaky, shallow breath. A whisper followed, a sound that seemed to crawl right into her ear canal. "Don't look. Behind you." Her heart didn't just pound, it froze, a block of ice in her chest. Mira stayed perfectly still, every muscle locking up. The room was silent except for the faint, rhythmic hum of her old ceiling fan, its blades cutting through the stale air. She tried to speak, but her vocal cords seized. The sound that escaped was a dry, rasping whisper. "Who is this?" No answer, only breathing. Slow, deep, and it sounded so. Closed Myra's eyes, wide with terror, flicked toward the dark hallway that gaped beside her couch. She saw nothing but shadows, yet she didn't dare turn her head. She couldn't. The voice spoke again, this time clearer, sharper, laced with a chilling urgency. "If you turn around, you won't stay alive long enough to regret it." Her pulse thundered in her ears, a frantic drumbeat against the silence. Her mind raced, a chaotic blur of possibilities. Was someone inside the house? Was this some sick, elaborate prank? She forced herself to take a tiny, shuddering breath. "What do you want?" A long, agonizing pause stretched on. So long she almost thought the line had gone dead. But then, the voice returned, low and intimate. "I've been watching you, Mira, for a very long time." The air behind her seemed to change. It felt tick-heavy, almost a physical presence. It was cold, a deep, unnatural cold that had nothing to do with the night air. It felt like it was breathing with her, in perfect, terrifying sync. Tears welled in her eyes, hot against her cold skin. She whispered again, her voice trembling. "Please, just tell me what you want from me." The voice on the other end dropped into a calm, icy tone. The kind of calm that precedes a storm. "I want you to listen. There's something behind you, and it's not me." The call disconnected. A final, definitive click echoed in the sudden, profound silence. The room plunged back into its quiet state, but now it felt different. It was a loaded silence, a waiting silence. Then Mira heard it. A soft shuffle, a sound so faint she almost dismissed it as her own imagination. But then it came again, the unmistakable sound of bare feet on her hardwood floor. Slow, dragging, and moving closer. She couldn't breathe. A scream was trapped in her throat, a physical lump she couldn't dislodge. She couldn't move. She couldn't turn. Her phone vibrated again, a violent buzz in her trembling hand. A new message illuminated the screen, the bright white light searing her retinas. "Whatever happens, do not look." Suddenly, the unseen footsteps stopped. They were right behind her chair, so close she could almost feel the displacement of air. A cold fingertip, impossibly cold, traced a slow, deliberate line down the back of her neck, her vision blurred with pure, unadulterated fear. Her whole world narrowed to that single, icy touch. Then a deafening knock on her front door, sharp and loud. It shattered the suffocating tension in the room. 2 knocks. 3. A familiar voice shouted from the hallway, muffled by the wood. "Mira, it's me. Open the door." It was Sarah, her best friend. Her heart twisted in a painful knot of confusion and terror. Whoever or whatever was standing silently behind her wasn't Sarah. It wasn't someone she knew. The thing behind her exhaled softly, a gentle puff of air inches from her ear. It smelled of damp earth and something else. Something old. "If you turn around now," a new voice whispered. A voice that was not from the phone. A voice that was right there with her in the room. "We both know what happens." The knocking at the door grew more frantic. "Mira, are you okay?" "Open up." Mira was trapped between two voices. One familiar and safe, the other unknown and terrifying. One in front, one behind, one promising rescue, the other promising an end. And this is where the story ends, because nobody knows which way Mira turned. Nobody knows if she chose the familiar voice at her door, or if she finally gave in to the paralyzing urge to see what had been watching her from the shadows. What would you have done? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.